Please stand up and give a round of applause for our service members who serve us every day and put their lives on the line.
In fact, it was almost chilly just, 2 nights ago? Was it chilly? We were out walking?
It was absolutely chilly for us.
In fact, it was almost cold. In fact, I saw a liberal with his hands in his own pockets.
I've got...
Cause when we tea party, we party hard.
The time is now to recycle our government, which by definition means to pass through a series of changes. We need to make that change, and we can actually have representatives who listen, who hear us, who care, and who will vote with the will of the people. Now it is time for each of us to rise up. We will assume the upright position, move upward, increase in size and number, and exact ourselves to meet the challenge in November. Each of us must be committed to this plan of repeal, reduce, and restore. We must be committed to make a difference locally, at the state level, and at the national level. Now is the time for each of us to rise up for what we believe in.
Military veteran and an American conservative. Notice that I did not mention my ethnicity because it doesn't matter. We did not come here today to talk about our differences. We came here today and we've come together because we have a cleanup job to do in November. So far, this administration has borrowed and spent more in a year and a half than the total cost of the Iraq and Afghanistan wars combined. Is that right? Some would like to lay the blame at the feet of the previous administration. Some would accurately blame the Obama administration. I say to you today, what matters most is our plan for the future in November. The grassroots movement is rooted in our disdain for growth of government and a trampling of our Constitution. That's a document that I took an oath to defend. Now that I no longer wear the uniform, I choose to defend that document by exercising my right to vote and activism as a conservative. Now I'm asking you, why is my being a conservative an issue? Why is it that some people who question my intelligence and reasoning are the same people who call for tolerance of every kind of evil thing? That's right. Because their tolerance only extends to those who believe as they do. This is a loss of life of 16 million people. So I am the one who questions how anyone can support the liberal agenda. I am part of a group of conservatives in America that is rapidly growing and mobilizing. We have a place to network, and it's called MoveOnUp.org. It's a social networking site where we can realize that we are not alone and work together with all Americans towards a brighter future. I have seen what the current administration has in store for our country and each and every one of you. And I say, no, thank you. I say no to the socialization of health care. I say no to borrowing $1.40 for every dollar we earn under GDP. And I say no to higher taxes. critical. Rise up. Vote. Have a coffee in your home for a conservative candidate. Put signs in your yard and tell your neighbors.
You wanted the best. You got the best. Come on. You show us everything you got. You keep our hands inside. You drive us wild. You drive you crazy. You say you want to go for a spin. The party's just begun to let you in. You drive us wild. You drive you crazy. You keep on shouting. You keep on shouting. Long night and party every day. Keep on saying you're the life for a while. You're looking crazy and I like your style. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You show us everything you got. And baby, that's what we've got. You drive us wild, we'll drive you crazy. You keep shouting, you keep shouting. Get on! Wanna rock and roll all night, all night. Party every day. Wanna rock and roll all night, come on. And party every day. Wanna rock and roll all night. And party every day.
Julie, greetings from Atlanta, Georgia.
I will say one thing, Georgia and being a Georgia and from Atlanta, we pride ourselves on Southern hospitality. But I have been in St. Louis since Thursday, and I can tell you St. Louis has us beat. You guys rock. This is a great crowd. And people like you turn to each other, and I want you to thank the person next to you for doing your part in taking back our nation. One thing that I will tell you is that once we kick the socialists out of Washington, D.C., our job's just beginning. People ask, what's next? What's next is the Tea Party movement will forever stand as guardians of liberty and freedom, and we will stand tall to make sure our freedoms and liberties are never eroded again. Never! And I would like for us to send a message to Speaker Pelosi, Senator Reid, and President Barack Obama. Our message is, you did not hear us when millions of patriotic Americans took to the street in protest of your policies. You did not hear us when millions of people and activists attended the town hall meetings over the summer. You did not hear us when millions of people went to the March on D.C. on 9/12 of last year. You have not listened to our voices. By God, on November 2nd of this year, we will have our voice heard. We will remember in November. Remember in November. Remember in November. Remember in November. Let's say it louder. They're hard of hearing in Washington, D.C. Remember in November. Remember in November. November 2nd, 2010, Judgment Day for the socialists that are holding this nation hostage in D.C. We are taking our country back. I challenge each and every one of you to register people to vote. Go door to door, make sure our people turn out to vote. November November 2nd, 2010 is when we the people take our country back. God bless America and God bless you guys.
Round of applause for Debbie.
It's our time to take a stand. Remember who we are. There's a call across this land. Remember who we are. We were a city on a hill, a candle in the dark. It started long ago. Now we have come so far. We keep our faith when there's no way out. When there's no hope, we show no doubt. We go the distance, no matter how far. Oh, remember who we
They're not reporting it, but the people who say they have the most media share are reporting it, so it's being reported. But it's being broadcast to the world. So that is media.
Yeah, I'm up here.
It was being broadcast before with Fox News. This isn't. Is that Debbie Rowe?
Yeah. No, she's at home. Yeah. I am. You know.
The funny thing is, he wrote a better conversation.
Oh, I do have a 401. My wife has 401. That's beside the point. My question is very simple. If this law was some of my money to go to Social Security, how can it be right for various state governments, including California and Maine, all of the money goes to the private capital? Well, maybe somebody on the Democrat side don't got their ideas together.
How you doing, Dana?
Universities likes to use university resources to stop private citizens and defame and libel the network.
You think he's a Washington University? Did you? Are you a Washington University employee?
I'm a teaching
You're a staff at Washington University. You're Washington.
Are you the guy that writes defamatory and libelous matter about private citizens all over the internet?
Oh, no. I don't know who a guy like that. I think that's actually a member of the Tea Party. I know some people who write defamatory and stuff that's dangerous.
No, I remember you're the guy. Do you use Washington University resources to go and attack and defame and libel private citizens?
No, that was a very clever attempt at trying to scare me.
Because what you do to private citizens is a smear tactic. You stalking private citizens, which is a violation of Missouri's cyber stalking law, by the way, to cyberbully people anonymously.
Why don't you cite the law that shows that I'm stalking? I don't know what you're talking about. You have a
You
public
follow
blog
people
and people
online and you
criticize
defame
you.
and libel them, and you stalk people because you desperately want 15 minutes of fame, and you
Dana,
think
if
that
you
that's the
believe
way to
in-
achieve it.
I don't care about
have never
15
seen
minutes
anyone
of
try
fame.
to fillet Eric Bolder the way that you do so often, and I am shocked that you actually
You're making
finally
yourself
showed
look good
up.
because I'm really, I'm doing such a, I'm being so
No,
mean.
I know. I look incredibly well because you're someone who likes to belittle and defame and libel private citizens.
You have
even
public
stalked my
information
mom
on your
blog. You have even stalked
You posted
women
a
online
political
mom blog.
blog. It's a political blog, and you posted on your public.
I was telling my husband that Dana loves
respond to
freedom of
people's
speech
blogs?
to defend
Why are you afraid to respond to a citizen responding to
Because
your
you're not
idiotic
Peter,
talking
you're not
points?
worth it.
What?
You're not worth it. All you do is defend
Okay,
the Bible.
but you're so scared that you call it stalking.
I'm scared.
When
That's
all
why
it is
I'm right
someone
here.
else expressing a
That's why
different
I'm right
political
here.
opinion.
Is that why I'm right here?
Yeah, but you're scared. You try to like shut it
I
down.
just
You're
asked
trying to
you
shut down
for your
free
identity,
speech.
and you were hesitant to give it.
Well, because I'm a teaching
I'm right
assistant,
here.
so it's not staff.
Oh,
it's not
that's
like
right. You're trying
technically
to go
staff.
after my job, but it's not cool if people try to go after your job. Is
How
that
do
what
I
it
come
is?
after your job? Do I say you should be fired?
No, you try to incite payola situations and all kinds of stuff. But you're the guy who works at Washington
You should have disclosed
University.
that Ed Martin gave your husband's business $5,000.
You know what? The
That should be a
National Black
public
Caucus
fact.
did too. So does
Shouldn't
that
be
mean
a-
I'm in the pocket for the National Black Caucus?
If you were going to talk about him on air, you should disclose
Yes,
it.
they actually did documentaries there. So did you forget
If you were
about
going to
that?
talk about it on air, you should
Did you forget about
disclose
that? I'm
it.
waiting for the apology.
Do you not
I actually
understand
talked about it
journalism,
on
Dana?
air. I do so more than you.
Good. So then you would understand that if you're talking about something that's a conflict of interest,
So
you
did
should
you not hear
you
the
should
show?
explain it.
How was it a conflict of interest?
It was on your blog. You never said anything
Explain to me
about it on
how
your blog.
using a university's taxpayer-funded resources to attack private citizens is not a conflict.
You just asked me if I did that, and I actually don't do that. So.
You're fighting about each other, not about policy.
No, he won't fight about politics.
Will you fight about policy? You talk more about policy?
I guess so, sure.
Bring up policy then.
I don't know, bring something up. You have a lot of criticisms, but you attack us personally. You never go after the merits of your relationship.
I do.
Parents all the time.
Give me an example.
It's going great. It's going great.
Fired up, brother.
Yeah, but the problem is it's like 40 YouTube hits right now. It's big. He's not going to get any closer than that.
Okay, so thousands of people are dying every year because they don't have policy. And you're taking this ridiculous agenda where you guys everything.
protesting the Tea Party.
Because they can't afford private insurance. It's impossible.
I would, but we got News Channel 4 and Dana Lash right here. You listen to Dana? No. Well, she's on the radio, 97.1 Talks.
It says that stuff for the public good. No, it's not that. That's the common interpretation. It's the same thing as people being forced to buy.
No, I'm not with the team. I'm just private citizen. No, I'm from Troy, Missouri.
The government mandates all kinds of things for the sake of the public good, and there's a current interpretation of commerce. Just like you know, and that's what the interpretation that most people have. You guys are operating under a ban. If that was true, why would you be worried at all? Because it's just going to get overturned in court. Dana, I asked you a question. I let you answer.
If it's against the Commerce Clause and therefore unconstitutional, you want to lose in a court challenge?
What are you worried about?
I actually agree with him on that particular issue. I disagree with you on healthcare reform.
See, I would like to pay my own way. I don't want the government to tell me that I have to have to pay my
It's not allowed you to pay your own way.
It's a mandate. It is a mandate.
Yeah, but
It's a penalty. You can't fine.
No, you don't personally pay a fine. No, you do not personally pay a fine. I can point to you. Do I have to do it on the phone? So I can probably, I mean, I can show you the section of the bill.
It's 2014. Where in the Constitution does it say? No,
Under the
that is not-
interpretation of everyone who's been looking at it, other than Republican and Tea Party members,
This is not regulating
that's how people have interpreted it. I'm sorry, that's the dominant interpretation. If you want to cite the actual passage and
70% of Americans don't agree with it.
I don't know if
that's a law, that's not agree whether it's constitutional or
I
not.
don't know if you can prove 70%. And they quote, well, you know the poll game. I can make a poll and it can say a lot of different things.
We're talking about millions
70%.
and millions of Americans, residents of Gallup.
And they didn't say 72, that's the red Rasmussen poll. The latest Rasmussen poll was 35.
Yeah.
Previous polls were like a small majority.
The latest Rasmussen said 35.
that, Dana? Yep.
It wasn't about any of those things anymore. All of the stereotypes were laid aside. 9/11 stripped us bare. It removed all of those distractions, all of the unnecessary distractions. These that we have found ourselves in, it removed all of that. Showed us. United us for what we were and what we are. America. We are Americans. And we came here today, ladies and gentlemen, as Americans. We are mothers, we are fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, brothers and sisters and friends. But the one thing that unites us all is that we are Americans. And as Americans, we know that something is very, very wrong. We sense that this country is in trouble. I received an email yesterday, and I searched in vain for the author who wrote this. I got this email, and it said very simply, it was one of those forwards, you get a ton of forwards, and it said, when liberty is in peril, who is the first person to answer the call? It is the farmer in the field. It is the mother. It is the father. It is our brave men and women who voluntarily enlist and make sacrifices. Those are the people that answer the call. When a shadow grows over liberty, it is the patriot, it is the American who hears the call and answers. People like you all here today, we have grown so much as a movement. I will never forget the first Tea Party that we had. We were actually all right over there. You were there! A lot of you were there! 1,500 people showed up and we just grew and we grew and we grew, and they said we were a fringe. Look around for just a quick second. Yeah, this is mainstream America, ladies and gentlemen. And we have grown. We have rocked the primaries. And for those who still have the privilege of being in a race, just so you know, and so your campaign crew will know, we are going to hold you to the fire. I don't care if you have a D or an R after your name, you will be held accountable. We have comforted each other. Sometimes we've carried each other across the finish line. We have inspired each other. And I really quickly, because I know we have a lot of amazing people here today, I want to tell you who inspires me. Obviously, you all standing out here inspires me. My faith inspires me. My husband of 10 years and my two beautiful boys inspire me. And I want to introduce you to some people who inspire me on a daily basis. They are standing right back here. Let me tell you something about these folks. You don't see them up on stage talking much, and you don't see them behind a camera, but you do see them in the trenches. These are people who work in the trenches every single day, petitioning and putting the pressure on these candidates and working behind the scenes, and they go without glory. I want to give them some glory today. Will you help me? This lady right here, her name is Sally Weber, and she heads up the Macon County Tea Party. She's a wife, she's a homeschooler, and she's an American. And Sally's told me before, oh, I don't know if I do all that much, and I'm thinking, oh, woman. Let me tell you something about Sally real quick here. She's a very good friend. She's raised a patriot and her daughter, Nikki, who has had 3 little patriots of her own. That's 2 generations this woman has rocked. That's more than I have accomplished. And I thank her. Can we give her a round of applause? These 2 ladies right here, Sandy Garber and Janet Alquist, come on up here. K&N Patriots, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you about these ladies. For the past, it's been over a year, hadn't it? 15 months. They have given every single Saturday morning of their lives for the past 15 months to go and rally. Same spot. They have been there in rain. They have been there in shine, extreme heat, extreme cold. Nothing has stopped them. And they have politicians going to that rally just to get their picture taken at it. Sandy and Janet are an inspiration to me as well. They think so. Can we drown that out and give them a round of applause? This man right here is named Craig Orlett, and he founded the Southern Illinois Tea Party. Gave up his time, and he has been out there working and toiling in Illinois. God bless them. Don't they need it, folks? Look how they got everybody in their yellow shirts, so you can high five those Southern Illinois Tea Partiers. Can we give Craig some applause? Thank you. And Ken Horton. I'm a Jefferson County girl. Ken Horton heads up the Jefferson County Tea Party. He's put on some amazing events. He's put on amazing events himself. He's been out there toiling in the trenches. He's been putting pressure on candidates. He's taken heat, and he's an inspiration to me as well. Ken, thank you for all you do. Ken Horton, let's give him applause. There are a lot more people. I would break the stage with the amount of people I wanted to bring up here, but I had to let you know these people, they are inspiring to me. They became their own epicenters of activism, and they are rocking it, and I thank them. These people knew, just as you know, that it would take longer than one election to undo an entire generation of government dissolution. They know it. And folks, we're not going to be done in midterms, and we're not going to even be done in 2012. We may not ever be done, but you know what? That's what it is. As Jefferson said it, what the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. It is a privilege. And folks, I want to leave you with this. All I know is that when it's my turn to rest, when it's our turn to rest, and I'm going to quote for just a second, I'm going to get all Southern Baptist like I was raised, just a minute. I'm going to get all 2 Timothy 4:7 on you here.
If you have an EpiPen, could you please bring it right over here? We need an EpiPen. Thank you.
An EpiPen, does anybody have one? Please head over that way. I want to leave you guys with this. When we are finished, when we are done, and when it is our turn to rest, I want us all to be able to say that we have fought the good fight, that we have finished the race, that we have kept the faith. Thank you, St. Louis. God bless you.
I want to begin by introducing to you the next senator from the state of Missouri, Roy Blunt. of the Peter principle, right? Rising to the level of your own incompetence. That is the story of Robin Carnahan's political career. And she rose to the level of her own incompetence when she was named Secretary of State, and they don't do anything. To be United States Senator is a promotion way above her level of competence. In fact, she is to Senator as Obama is to President. When they propose another stimulus package in Washington to try to bleed us to help the economy, Roy Blunt is going to vote no. And Robin Carnahan will do what they tell her. And when the bill comes up to repeal Obamacare and block the $500 billion of Medicare cuts, Roy Blunt is going to vote to repeal it. And when California and New York and Michigan line up outside the Capitol like greases outside of the IMF, begging for a bailout, begging for a debt guarantee, Roy Blunt is going to say no. Now, by the rules of the Tea Party, Roy here can't say anything, but I think you know what he'd say if he were here and able to talk. We're going to take the House and we're going to take the Senate. We're not going to win the 39 seats we need to win the House. We're not going to win 40. We're not going to win 50. We're not going to win 60. We're going to win 60 to 80 seats in the House of Representatives. Barbara Boxer, goodbye. Patty Murray, goodbye. Michael Bennett, goodbye. And poor old Russ Feingold, who's been looking for a safe district but can't find one this side of Havana and Caracas, goodbye. And most of all, best of all, Harry Reid, see you later. Let me just take a minute to explain why we have no economic recovery. It's because Barack Obama says, have a nice recovery. Go ahead. Now next year I'm going to raise your taxes like crazy and your health insurance premiums and with cap and tax your utility bill, but spend all your money now. Don't worry about tomorrow. And then he says, have a nice recovery, but if you're 75 or 80 or 85 years old and you're a little worried about departing this planet, don't invest your money back in your company because I'm going to come back with the inheritance tax and take half of it. And if you're thinking of starting jobs in the healthcare industry, don't you dare do it because I'm going to make everything illegal and take it all over. And if you're a bank, don't make any loans to create jobs because if they go bad, I'm going to take you over, fire your board, sell off the stock, and sell off divisions of your company and wipe out your equity shareholders, okay? So don't make any loans to create jobs. And if you're in the manufacturing sector, for God's sakes, don't create any more jobs, because I'm coming in with trap, cap, and tax, and I'm going to ship them overseas. And if you're in the energy sector, I'm going to impose a tax on carbon and a tax on oil, so don't you create any new jobs. But other than that, have a nice recovery, folks. The fact of the matter is that Barack Obama uses the recession as an excuse for socialism. Barack Obama uses the uninsured as an excuse to take over the medical industry. Barack Obama uses the prospect of climate change to take over the manufacturing and the energy sector. You know, the Democrats are running ads in a couple of the districts accusing folks like Roy Blunt of wanting to ship jobs overseas. That's after they passed the GM bailout, where 2/3 of the jobs are overseas. And the Cash for Clunkers program, when half the cars were foreign made. And the TARP program, where the bank lending went overseas. That takes some nerve. But my message for this Tea Party movement is that you are saving the United States of America. You are saving us by purifying the Republican Party. Let's remember that when they lost power in '06, out of 200 Republican congressmen, 10 were under indictment, resigned, or were convicted. Washington is an unsafe city, but the House of Representatives was the highest crime neighborhood. But you're purifying that. You're throwing them out and replacing them with grassroots activists with true conservative principles, and bless you for that. And you are sweeping that reformed, rededicated, reconstituted Republican Party back into power. But your job won't end on November 2nd. It will start on November 2nd. Because I like all these candidates. I think they're all great. But you know, I hope they drink bottled water, because there's something in that water supply in Washington, D.C. that leads them to think taxes might not be so bad after all, and that entitlement spending should not be curbed, and that government spending can't be rolled back. And the force that will keep them honest, the force that will keep this agenda pure, the force that will bring it to fruition is you. Now, when those states come to Washington and beg for financial relief, you know what the Republicans should say? They should say, get rid of your union contracts. Go into bankruptcy and do what Delta Airlines did and Chrysler did. Abrogate those contracts and then solve your own problems. And when Barack Obama comes to Congress and says, I'm moving to the center, I'm going to rein back spending and have some increases in taxes, the Republican Party needs to say, hell no! Not one dime of new taxes. You roll back your spending to the level of taxes. We're not going to ratify your socialism. So we need you to purify this party. We need you to animate it and drive it to victory. And then we need you more than ever after Election Day to keep them in line. Thank you and bless you.
Paranoia is in bloom. The PR transmissions will resume. They try to push guys to keep us all done.